Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. A fresh political storm has erupted in Kerala after a top leader of Jamaat-e-Islami Hind's Kerala chapter put out a post that endorsed the idea of an Islamic Republic. Given that this is an Indian outfit, the import of the post is clearly that Muslims will eventually have the aim of establishing an Islamic Republic even in India. What followed was swift and sharp. Both the CPM and the BJP, rivals on most days, today found common ground in attacking the Congress party, their charge possibly warranted. The Congress, in its desperation to counter the left and the BJP in the state, is now aligning with radicals. While the Congress, for its part, continues to deny any formal alliance, can the party really claim plausible deniability when its leaders share stages, accept support and remain silent when controversial positions are aired, especially in context of the state politics? The question arises, are secular parties in India only secular when it comes to majoritarian communalism? Do they fall deadly silent when secessionist or Islamic communalism is in question and openly voiced? And is the grand old party trying to accommodate an Islamic Republic mindset, if not endorse it fully, in the name of electoral survival? Will that be fruitful or will it cause more problems going forward nationally as well for the party? That's a big question we'll take to our guest. Joining us in just a bit is Congress Kerala aligning with a Islamic Republic mindset. The Kerala parties call this a radical alliance. What will be the import of this in Kerala elections, but also nationally? But also later on the show, we'll get you how Bangladesh has now officially announced that it will not be partaking in the upcoming T20 World Cup in India. Pakistan had made certain notes in support of Bangladesh's demand. Will they follow suit? But first up, here's the very Facebook post by Jamaat-e-Islami leader Sheikh Mohammad Karakunu that triggered the latest political storm in Kerala. So what is the title of this Facebook post? It is titled, "Will the Faithful Reject the Islamic Republic?" as a question. And what does the post say? The post reads, it goes into the history of the Islamic Republic concept itself, that the Prophet is the founder of the Islamic Republic and its headquarters were in Medina. It was established without shedding a single drop of blood, the post says, and adds that it was an idealistic, humane, pluralistic state. Its Muslim population was only 15%. So the post went on to suggest that you don't have to be in majority. It doesn't have to be a Muslim majority country or area for Islamic Republic to be accepted and to be successful. And then he went on to say, I humbly request those who criticize the Islamic Republic to study about it. No faithful who loves the Holy Prophet even a little can reject it. Now, this line certainly has come under question. But this wouldn't be the first time that the Jamaat has opposed secularism. In fact, history is witness to the organization's very radical stance in the past as well. And it's been a problematic body to begin with. Its foundational ideology, established by Maulana Abul Ala Maududi, viewed secular democracy as, quote, un-Islamic and a violation of the sovereignty of God. In 1951, in fact, in newly independent India, the first Amir of JIH, Abulaz Islahi Nadwi, justified boycotting India's general elections, calling the sovereignty of a man a spectacle that flouted Sharia. Jamaat-e-Islami Hind was banned as well following remarks by its then head, Sirajul Hasan, who allegedly suggested that separation of Kashmir from India was inescapable. And there are several other things as far as this body's history is concerned that can be called under question. So let me tell you a little bit about the Jamaat-e-Islami Hind origins itself. So it was originally founded in August 1941 at Lahore by Syed Abul Ala Maududi. But after partition, it split into separate organizations in India, Pakistan and what was then called East Pakistan. The Indian organization became Jamaat-e-Islami Hind and it was officially titled so in April 1948. It has continued to focus on education and literature. It also has the Islamic Publishing House under it, and publications such as Prabodhanam were launched to promote Islamic reform. But in 2011, leaders associated with Jamaat helped form the Welfare Party of India. So far, it had stayed away from electoral politics and it formed its political wing only in 2011. Now, WFI participates mainly in local body elections. And its electoral performance is modest at best, garnering up to 1.5% of vote. But it is very crucial in influencing coalition arithmetic, which is why in the past left has also taken their support, and since 2019 elections per se, it has moved on to support the UDF, the Congress-led UDF more prominently, and they are also very wary of shunning the support from the Jamaat-e-Islami. Let me just point out to you the times again and again when Congress has been soft on the question that has been posed to it on Jamaat support. So Kerala's leader of opposition VD Satishan hit out at the CPM leader AK Balan recently after the latter claimed that Jamaat would hold the home portfolio if UDF was to come to power. The Congress leader claimed this is CPM echoing a quote Hindu majoritarian perspective which sought to portray Muslims as subaltern citizens. In June 2025, mind you, last year, VD Satishan had said on record when asked about Jamaat-e-Islami's stance on Islamic republicanism, he had said that they had changed their political stance and that was used as a justification to continue to play pally with them. Earlier also, he had said that there was nothing new in welfare party support when they were questioned multiple times and that in 2024 and 2019 elections, welfare party backed UDF, but for the last 3 decades before that, they had backed the CPM. But now the CPM, of course, is charging the UDF with playing with a very dangerous radical alliance. The question, though, that arises is, regardless of who took their support in the past, currently, does the Congress back this Islamic Republic mindset? Even after this post has gone viral, the Congress has really not said anything to justify their alliance or support with the Jamaat-e-Islami or the WFI, or at all shunning the kind of post that has been made by the Jamaat-e-Islami leader. So that debate is coming up.
അവര് ആ വാദമൊന്നും അവരില്ല. അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു മതരാഷ്ട്രവാദം അവരിപ്പോൾ ഉന്നയിക്കുന്നില്ല. അവർ ഒരുപാട് മാറ്റങ്ങൾ അവരുടെ സമീപനത്തിൽ വരുത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്.
Jamaat-e-Islami is not a normal organization. It is an organization that is killing minorities in Bangladesh. It is destroying societies and communities all around the world.
केरला में जमात-ए-इस्लामी के एक कार्यकर्ता, एक नेता ने इस्लामिक रिपब्लिक बनाना है भारत में उसकी वकालत की. उसका खंडन करने के बदले कांग्रेस उसकी सफाई दे रही है. कांग्रेस इनके साथ अलायंस में.
Let's go across to our guest, Charu Pragya of the BJP, Vivek Srivastava, leader of left parties, and Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst with us, Shivrashtra, author and political analyst, also joining us. Syed Asad Abbas, I begin with you. Why is the Congress so wary of even coming out and letting their mind known? Forget about talking about the support that the WFI lends to them, but they're not even speaking out, whether in favor or against, of this ideology that this leader has espoused. What is making them so nervous?
Shivani ji, I've always believed with great power there's great responsibility and equal accountability. The Indian National Congress has always been sacrosanct in its stand that it's the constitution above all else. Let us understand it is the same Indian National Congress which has given the largest number of freedom fighters to the country. As a matter of fact, Rahul Gandhi ji, the leader of opposition, is the man who hails the constitution of this beautiful country every single time. Now let me tell you, the fact that Bharatiya Janata Party and my dear friends on the panel say that why Congress does not take a stand on this for their alliance partners, respective ma'am, where were you when the BJP in yesterday years partnered with DMK, which is against the Sanatan culture? Periyar made statements against it. Karunanidhi made statements against it. But you formed an alliance. But you keep finger on the lips for your satta ki bhook, for your power. Not just that, you formed an alliance with Mehbooba Mufti of the PDP. Who is Mehbooba Mufti? A terror sympathizer, an anti-national you say, but for power hungriness of yours, satta ki kursi, satta ki bhook ke liye you form an alliance with them? What about that? आप करें तो
So
क्या,
is this
कांग्रेस
the
करें तो
same?
हमारा, ये कैसा अत्याचार?
No, but two wrongs
Absolute
don't make a
hypocrisy.
right, and I don't want to. I don't understand if the Congress is wanting to say that whatever the BJP does is kosher for them as well. So is the Congress also then compromising its nationalistic stand that you
No,
believe they
surely.
have for the sake of electoral power in Kerala?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
No,
not,
but then why did you
Shivani ji.
give me those examples? 1 second. Why did you give me those examples if Congress is not doing the same?
I will answer that. Of course, you should know of these examples, because the same BJP or Rajiv Chandrasekhar who is blaming for the actions of Jamaat-e-Islami, you can't blame the Congress party. You can blame the Congress party for the statements its Congress members or karyakartas make. If that is the case, if Rajiv Chandrasekhar blames the Congress for what its alliance does, I will blame Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Charu Pragya, and the BJP for their alliances partner statements like Mehbooba Mufti and
The
Karunanidhi,
reason
which
why
they partnered.
reason why Congress is being asked to explain its stance today is because last year, as I played out, when they were asked this question, they very categorically said, "Oh, Jamaat doesn't believe in this concept of theological state or Islamic
I will
Republic
answer this.
anymore." Now
I'll
that
tell
their
you.
leader has said, almost made an appeal or a reminder to Indian Muslims that
I will answer this.
no true believer will ever be against this concept. Why doesn't the
Rahul
Congress
Gandhi
come out and
ji's
say
statement
anything?
is clear. Rahul Gandhi ji's statement is clear. It's categorical that this country, we the people of India, are a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. A secular republic can never be a Muslim Rashtra, can never be a Hindu Rashtra.
But then why not
If-
say so? He hasn't said it. He talks about
has
many
already
things
said
that
it.
happen
This
in many
land will
states, and
remain
Kerala
secure.
is one of the states he has represented as an MLA,
He
as
has
an MP,
always, as a
mind you.
member of parliament, not as an MLA, and his stand has always been clear that India, the beauty of India, lies in its people,
Okay.
and we are secular. We can never be a Muslim nation. We can never be a Hindu nation.
So Vivek
we are a
Srivastava,
secular
does that,
nation.
because what Syed is saying is the stand of the Congress party, does it not
Yes.
mean that there is even greater responsibility on this national party to come out and explain itself on where it stands on the Jamaat's appeal?
Yes, of course, of course. It has a duty because it's a part of the India Alliance. We are also a part of the India Alliance. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress are the biggest constituent of it, with about 100 odd member parliaments sitting in the Lok Sabha. So yes, the Congress has a bigger responsibility than any other group. That's the first part. But you see, the left questioning the Congress, the intentions are very different from the way the BJP questions it. We are questioning that, even though if I do agree with the Congress the leader of the spokesperson, Mr. Nishan, who said that now the Jamaat does not believe in a theological state, I might agree with it. However, if you join hands with organizations like this, there is going to be a strong reactionary movement from the communal powers and the communal constituents of the BJP and the Sangh Parivar, and major retaliation will happen across the nation. The party, the BJP, which is targeting the Honorable Shankaracharya, simply because he is not in alignment with their concept of a Hindu Rashtra and not towing the line of Modi, doesn't have any right to raise any question either on the Congress or on Jamaat. That's the point number one. Inka to koi moral right hai nahi. Now, point number two is that yes, the Congress should come out, tell us if they are joining hands with Jamaat, if they are taking the support from Jamaat, is there a common minimum program? Is the Jamaat very clear? It stands with the Indian Constitution. What is the stand of the Jamaat in Kashmir? That should be told, not for its own justification, but also to let the world know that yes, the Congress is a secular party. It has protected the secular ethos of the nation for the 70 odd years and will continue to do it in the future. And that is what we want them to speak. It is not about accusations. It is about clarification so that India Alliance can move ahead.
You are
in the right direction. That is what it is.
you are softening what actually the CPIM leaders, the LDF leaders in Kerala have said. They've been very categorical that this is a radical alliance. They've been very categorical
Yes, so
that
clarify it out.
Jamaat is a
Clarify it.
communal outfit that works against social coherence. They've been very categorical even to taunt the Congress that the Jamaat would hold the home portfolio if they were to be voted to power.
Absolutely. So let them clarify. Let the Congress come out and say no, or let the Congress come out and say yes. The Congress has to come out. The Congress has to come and say that, look, this is what is the manifesto. This is the agenda of the Jamaat now. This is what they talked with us. This is our common minimum program. This is the agenda. They stand with the Constitution.
No, but
They
they're not
oppose an
doing
Islamic
it. So
state.
they're not doing it. So that brings me
No,
back to my first question. What is making them so
Yes.
wary in coming out and clarifying their stand? It doesn't take much for them to say we don't support this idea. that this will not work in India?
You see. First of all, I think they need to come out, and why they are not coming out? Probably because many a times in the Indian politics today, when you ask questions, it has become a fashion since 2014. Giving answers symbolizes some sort of a weakness. No press conferences by the Prime Minister is a very good example of it. That is what I would like to say. So the Congress should come out, and if it is not coming out, it is not good for the Indian democracy at all. And it is not good for the India alliance at all, and it is not good for the secular ethos of the nation.
Charu Pragya, they're saying this is ultimately, both parties, BJP, Congress, equally problematic when it comes to clarifying their stances or accepting if something has gone wrong.
So here's the thing, Shivani, it's so convenient for the left to say this, right? They call themselves atheists, but whenever it suits them politically, they jump on either side of the spectrum and they have enough comments to make about every single religion. And as for Congress, they also claim to be secular, but they selectively ignore religious radicalism when it suits their politics, when their vote bank is involved. Let's not forget that the ideology of Jamaat-e-Islam is restricted, sometimes even banned in so many Islamic nations, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt, Turkey, Bangladesh, even Pakistan. And here in India, we have the left and the Congress actually in a position where the Congress wants to make them even ministers today. The problem here is not a discussion on faith. The problem here is that you still want to place one particular faith above our constitution, and that is a huge issue when Rahul Gandhi talks about everything with a copy of the constitution in his hand. We've seen that copy of the constitution is blank inside. कोरे पन्ने लेकर वो घूमते हैं, constitution की बात करते हैं और secularism की बात करने की कोशिश करते हैं, लेकिन actually all his actions point towards religious radicalism when it suits his politics. Here, elected ministers attending a program is not a simple thing. This is constitutional. They are representing the people of the state. They represent the people of this country. And we need to take very strong note of this and object to it very, very strongly. Because in Kerala, time and time, we have seen that there is interference of the state in religion.
Yes? Okay. We'll go back to Charu Pragya. Seem to have lost her link. But Subhrashta, here is what the problem that is emerging as far as this case is concerned. It is once again a reminder that for quote-unquote secular parties in India, it is okay to play footsie with Islamism even as they continue to cry about majoritarian communalism in India. Perhaps why secularism as a concept is dying a natural death in India, unfortunately, because Indian secularism was seen as very fake and warped to begin with. And this is a classic example of that.
Yes. Also, Shivani, we should make it very clear at the outset that this is not fringe and this is not accidental. Also, this is not harmless. These things need to be said in the same breath, because when the language of Islamic Republic enters mainstream political debate, I think it signals an ambition to replace constitutional authority with theological authority. And whosoever you talked about political parties playing footsie with such kind of political outfits, it must also be noted that left's unequivocal, I would say, silence on actually reprimanding the Congress for not being able to take a position and saying that we want to wait it out and see what they have to say is basically not neutral. This silence is very strategic, and it is extremely dangerous, when it comes looking at the long arc of a political conversation around this. Now, let us also understand that secularism is not a courtesy extended to religious claims. It is a discipline imposed by a state, and we chose a particular kind of state. It exists precisely to prevent religion from asserting jurisdiction over law, governance, and citizenship. And when somebody comes out and says that you want to build an Islamic Republic or whatever to that effect, it is basically saying that
Also
equality before law is negotiable.
So
let us also be very clear about who this harms. It does not empower.
At Hindu Republic also.
So I
And the
think,
word
I think, one
republic
second,
also
Vivek,
along
I
with
think I
Islamic
was going to
Republic.
ask you the next question, which is that how is this different when certain groups demand Hindu Rashtra?
I'd like to
If
come in here,
Muslims,
Shivani.
yes, sir, I'm
Yeah.
coming back to you. If Muslims seek
Yeah,
an Islamic Republic because that is what they believe in, how is it different when Hindu
Yes.
groups ask for Hindu Rashtra? And why is one more dangerous than the
I mean,
other?
May I answer this, please?
I'll come
both
back
are
to you.
equally
Shubrashtra,
dangerous. Both are
Shubrashtra
equally
first.
dangerous.
Shubrashtra first, then I'll come to you,
Okay.
gentlemen. Just
Okay.
give me a minute.
Okay.
Yes, Shubrashtra.
Okay.
You know, Shivani, I don't, you've asked that question. However, I would like to put it out at the outset that such kind of framing or such kind of debate shouldn't exist because the danger lies precisely in precedent. Once the idea of a religious republic is floated without firm rejection, the republic itself becomes conditional. Today it is a statement, tomorrow it will be a demand. And it will be a demand framed as democratic aspiration. This is not how constitutional boundaries are tested. This is a gradual
The demand for
normalization.
Hindu
of
Rashtra
this
is
kind of
already
discourse. And
there.
let me also tell you that Kerala's political
Every
history
Hindu Dharam Guru
would
is
have
already
made,
demanding a Hindu Rashtra.
sir,
Mr. Dhirendra
I
Shastri
don't
is
know.
already
I don't know
demanding
what
it.
kind of people you hang out with. Clearly, it is not BJP's demand. And I think BJP is the mainstream political party
No,
in this
the
country.
Prime Minister hangs out with Dhirendra Shastri. I don't. It is the Honorable Prime Minister of this country who hangs out with the likes
Listen,
of
you
Dhirendra
have a
Shastri,
personal
who
problem with
demand a
every.
Hindu Rashtra.
You have a personal problem.
No,
Please
I
take
mean,
it
I have a-
elsewhere. You know,
No, it is
having.
not a
I
personal
think
problem. It's the
Dhirendra
problem of the
Shastri has
nation.
as much right
It
to
is the
exist in
problem
this
of the
country
nation.
as you. I think
Exists in
Dhirendra
the nation
Shastri
by
has as
demanding a
much
Hindu
right
Rashtra.
to exist in this country as you. He has freedom
And
of
demand a Hindu
movement.
Rashtra.
Change the
And
constitution
demand a
for all
Hindu
I care
Rashtra.
democratically.
Are you
But
justifying
please
a
do not
demand
get
for a
into.
Hindu
No, I'm
Rashtra?
really sorry. I think this
One
is
by one,
suppose
please.
that
One
Hindu
second.
level-
Vivek,
this is
I
low-level
told you I'm
argument
going to come to
entering
you.
into a
Please be
mainstream discourse.
patient.
Okay.
Let's not interrupt
Can I
each
come in
other.
now?
No,
Let's,
I'm
one
not
second.
patient.
Please,
Can
we
I
have
get 10
time. Be
seconds without
patient.
this gentleman?
Shubrashtra,
Can I
please,
get 10 seconds?
please finish. Shubrashtra, please finish.
You know, Shivani, I totally understand left's unease with this because they wanted to keep it strategic under wraps in Kerala,
Yeah.
given Kerala's political history. But this conversation has become mainstream, fortunately or unfortunately for them.
In fact-
the problem is these people will pick out individuals to lay a whole conversation around a normalized political atmosphere. But when it
You
comes
denounce
to
that
them,
person.
it's a
If I
strategic
picked
call
up a
by a
person,
political
denounce
No,
that
no.
person.
Okay, but Vivek, Vivek,
Dhirendra Shastri is not a politician.
Denounce Dhirendra
I
Shastri.
don't care what anybody's
Denounce
political
him.
beliefs are.
I'm
Individual
denounce anyone
political
who wants a
beliefs
Hindu
are.
Rashtra.
Even if the
We
person
are
is a
secular.
Shankaracharya, I don't care.
no, one second. Vivek,
I
this
know.
is why, this
I
is,
don't
one
think Dhirendra
second,
Shastri is
please.
asking for votes anywhere.
Vivek, this is why I started by asking
Yes.
you, why is the Congress not
Yeah.
denouncing it, right? You were
I'll-
very
I'll-
soft
I'll-
on the
May I come in now?
you were very
No,
soft
I
on
was
the
not- I
Congress
was-
at that time.
Can I answer
Sayyid ji,
that?
you'll have to
I'll-
wait, please. I'll come back to you. I've noted
I'll-
that your finger is up. I'll come back to you, please. One second.
Okay.
Vivek,
See,
this is the
see.
point that I was
Yes.
trying to make. You are so strong-headed when it comes to taking on anyone
Yes.
who has demanded a Hindu Rashtra.
Yes.
When it comes
Yes,
to
yes.
Islamism, which demands Islamic Republic,
Yes.
somehow the responses are very soft. They are very
No,
balanced.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely
no.
not.
So why
See, I'll tell you,
are you
I'll
not
tell you,
criticizing
I'll tell you.
Jamaat in equal
I'll
terms?
tell you.
This is what
I'll tell
this
you,
is
I'll
why I
tell you.
raised the question
There
of
is-
warped secularism,
Yes,
keeping
yes,
strategically
yes.
quiet on communalism by
No.
minorities and
No.
only talking about
No.
majoritarian communalism.
I'll tell you one thing now. There is a gentleman called Amrit Pal Singh. Mr. Amrit Pal Singh is the member parliament of this country, selected into the Lok Sabha, and he is currently in jail in Punjab. And he is supposed to be charged under sedition because he was trying to talk of Khalistan. But in an interview which he gave before he was being jailed, he said, if there are people in this country who are free and who are encouraged and who can openly talk about the concept of Hindu Rashtra, then why are you stopping me from talking about Khalistan? He's
Because
wrong. He's
Khalistan
talking
is
of breaking my
secessionist.
country.
First of
I'm
all,
against
first
them. Listen
difference
to me.
is
I'm against them.
Khalistan is secessionist.
Yes, but-
It talks
but-
about
but
taking
those people-
territory away from the Union of India.
Absolutely.
Secondly,
But so do
Amrit
the
Pal
people who demand
and
Hindu
his
Rashtra.
one second, Amrit Pal and his outfit had issues of
Yes.
violence, which is why they were slapped
Yes,
with
agreed. I am
UAPA.
with you.
They
I'm with you.
created
I'm
violence
against them.
in Punjab and in other states.
not
They were
saying
threatening
that. I'm
violence
not saying
against the
that.
state of
I'm
India.
saying
Don't
something
compare the
different.
two.
No. What?
Shivani, can I?
He's comparing it. He said, इस मुल्क में अगर कोई हिंदू राष्ट्र मांगेगा, तो दूसरा आदमी इस्लामिक राष्ट्र मांगेगा,
विवेक जी।
तीसरा खालिस्तानी राष्ट्र मांगेगा, नॉर्थ ईस्ट वाला कुछ और मांगेगा.
तो मैंने आपसे यही
इसलिए
तो
the
सवाल
demand
पूछा
for
था
the
ना,
Hindu राष्ट्र
विवेक
should be
विवेक
nullified.
श्रीवास्तव, मैंने आपसे यही सवाल पूछा था कि जिस जोश से आप हिंदू राष्ट्र की डिमांड्स को अपोज करते हैं, उसी जोश से
Yes.
सेक्युलर पार्टीज इस्लामिक रिपब्लिक की डिमांड्स को क्यों नहीं अपोज करती? मेरा तो यही सवाल था।
May I answer that?
बिल्कुल
ma'am?
अपोज करते हैं। Every Muslim of this country is against an Islamic Republic. The
आप
Muslims
मुस्लिम्स
of
के
this
बिहाफ पे
nation
मत
decided
बोलिए,
to
आप
say
अपनी
that.
पार्टी के बिहाफ पे
बिल्कुल
बोलिए।
बोलूंगा, मैडम।
I'd like to answer
1947 के 47 के बाद सब हिंदुस्तान में रहे, तो लिव विद हिंदूज लाइक मी एंड यू, हमारे साथ रहे।
तो अब ये
हमने
जमाते
किया,
इस्लामी का
हम
क्या
पार्टी
करना
में
चाहिए
थे।
हमें फिर? अब जमाते इस्लामी के जो लीडर हैं वो बोल रहे हैं इस्लामिक रिपब्लिक बनना चाहिए, तो उसका क्या करें फिर?
If अगर वो इस्लामिक राष्ट्र बांध रहे हैं तो मोदी क्या कर रहे हैं? Why is
अच्छा।
action not being taken against that organization for 11 years?
तो ये बड़ा आसान सवाल है कि मोदी क्या कर रहे हैं,
बिल्कुल
लेकिन
आसान
आप
सवाल है, सरकार किसकी है?
लेकिन आप
मतलब
पॉलिटिकल
यहाँ पे एक
एक
संगठन अगर इस्लामिक राष्ट्र मांग रहा है, what is my government doing?
yeah, this outfit has been
Whatever they
banned
have
in the
said.
past. Maybe it will invite another ban
this is-
if it translates into any
11
street
years.
action.
No, no,
Yes,
either it
Syed.
is- either it is
One by one,
anti-national-
Syed, please. Syed wanted to come in.
Firstly, Shivani ji, to my honorable panelists, I did not interrupt anyone. Kindly, please do not interrupt me. Coming straight to the point, my dear friend Vivek raised a point about, should, those people should be taken off, especially those who speak of Islamic Rasha. I believe, Sare Jahan se acha, Hindustan hamara. I, as a Muslim Indian, young Muslim Indian, I would say absolutely not. There is no place for Muslim Rashtra or Hindu Rashtra in this country because we are a secular nation and we are a Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar's architect constitution which holds sacrosanct above everything else. And to me, the BJP reeks of hypocrisy and duplicity because when it matters of Hindu Rashtra, when their party leaders say Hindu Rashtra and their alliances say Hindu Rashtra, when great leaders of theirs say Hindu Rashtra, Modi ji, Amit Shah ji and the hierarchy are silent on that. They don't say a word.
But why is
when
Rahul
somebody
Gandhi
like the Jamaat-
silent?
Just yeah,
You
when
can only
Jamaat
ask others
Islami-
questions when
Allow me
you
to
display
answer.
a
Yes,
different
I will answer.
behavior. You are also very strategically quiet.
So the same people, the same people who are mum and dead deafening silence on Hindu Rashtra, they don't say anything, but they come out and ask for a clarification from Rahul Gandhi for what a Jamaat Islami says. Let me tell you, Rahul Gandhi's stand has been sacrosanct. No Muslim Rashtra, no Hindu Rashtra, only
But why
secular
did the
Rashtra.
Congress then
Only
repeatedly,
then
and we have
our
multiple
India-
instances,
I, as a-
repeatedly take support of the WFI, which is the political arm of the Jamaat-e-Islami. And today also, till today also, they've been justifying this soft support that the Jamaat-e-Islami gives them in Kerala. Is it only for electoral gain? Then say so. That no, we want to come to power and
absolutely
we're
not.
going to take anybody's support. They've
Absolutely
almost
not.
said this in the past.
I will
It's
answer
only
that.
this
Shivani ji,
Facebook post
absolutely not.
that has now
Absolutely
upended
not.
all the
Let
justifications
us-
that Congress gave in the past and has now put them in the
I will
dock.
answer that.
No,
Shivani
you've
ji,
answered
we
it.
cannot
Let
hold-
Charu Pragya
we
come in.
cannot
Charu
hold
Pragya,
Congress
I think
party
the
for the
fundamental
statement of
question here
Jamaat
is this. One
Islami.
second. Syed, you answered it. I gave you enough opportunities. Charu, I think the fundamental question is this. The BJP or its fountainhead, the RSS, often talks about Hindu Rashtra, how Indic culture or Indian culture in itself is Hindu in nature. Sar Sanchalak has been on record so many times to say anybody who lives in India is a Hindu. India has always been a Hindu Rashtra. You are not able to tell the public how that idea of Hindu Rashtra is okay and is different and is beneficial versus an idea of Islamic Republic. That's a problem with the BJP.
No, but Shivani, the country we live in is called Hindustan. It is called Hindustan. What other explanation do all these people in the opposition needs? It's as simple as that. And to the Congress, I just wanted to say one thing before I was cut off. They side with a political party like the DMK, which talks of eradicating Sanatan in a ugly
DMK,
way,
you allied
where
with
they're
DMK
using
for
slurs
political
against
power
our
in
religion.
Syed, not like this, please. Not like this.
Entire
No, they partnered with
conferences
DMK,
with
they
that title, and they have ministers attending that. The Congress has no issues in siding with a political party like that. And now also with Jamaat-e-Islami, when somebody talks about the Islamic Republic, फिर से इनको कोई problem नहीं है, they will side with that. So, unfortunately, with the political party which occupies the chair of the leader of opposition of this country, it's become a huge problem. Their brand of pseudo-secularism has become a huge problem. The way they try to remove Hinduism from every single festival also that this country celebrates has become a huge problem. You look at the way Pongal is celebrated. They just want to pretend that it is a regional festival, not a Hindu festival. This ideology is harming our country.
Yeah. Secularism doesn't mean or
No, no,
shouldn't
how-
mean that you have to erase
get the
Indian
license
culture
of
or
Hinduism.
the stamp of
140
Hinduism
crore.
on what is our way of life in India, whether it is a festival or other beliefs. But Vivek, the charge that, Congress faces today, that it is being, strategically quiet because today it needs the Jamaat's influence or support, even if strategically, that charge goes to the left too. As V.D. Satheesan said, for 30 years before 2019, the Jamaat-e-Islami was strategically supporting the left. You didn't have a problem with them then. But today, Pinarayi Vijayan is almost making it sound like this is some new phenomenon, that Jamaat has suddenly become radical.
No. You see, no. There are two things. I do not know the meaning of the word strategically taking support of. Either you take a support or you don't take a support. And if you take a support, you say,
But did the left not do so?
Do campaigning for me. No, I mean nothing. See, we are very clear. The left doesn't believe in any religion. Religion is the opium of the masses. We stand for secularism. Apna dharm apne ghar mein rakho. Puja karo, namaz padho, whatever it is. Don't drag it onto the streets or dange mat karo. That is what the left stands for. What Hindu Sanskriti? Sanskriti changes with time. I'm wearing a shirt. Girls are wearing something different today. आज सब बदल चुका है. बच्चे पिज्जा खाते हैं, बर्गर खाते हैं, मोमो खाते हैं, कपड़े क्या पहनते हैं? This is an English channel. English is the mother tongue of the Indians now, and you are sitting in this channel. What is Sanskriti? What is Sanskriti? It changes with time. So you have to adapt. You don't want to acknowledge it. You want to stick around to the old
You are
dogmas.
attacking the
What is
concept of
Mushkil
religion. I am not doing a theological debate on that. I asked you a simple
You
question.
said it is good for us.
One second,
You justify
Vivek,
it, then
I
you
asked you a
consider it good
simple
for us.
question. Did the left not stay quiet when the Jamaat used
We
to
are very
influence votes in its favor? Today you have a problem only because it has shifted to the Congress.
We are very clear. हमारी आइडियोलॉजी है लाल सलाम, वर्कर्स एंड फार्मर्स. आपको समर्थन देना है, पूरा देश खड़ा है. आपको इलीगल नहीं डिक्लेयर किया है, आइए दीजिए. मेरे टर्म्स कंडीशंस पे, मेरे मैनिफेस्टो पे दीजिए. आई एम वेलकमिंग यू. I am welcoming Charu Pragya.
Okay.
Please come, give support to me, give support to my agenda.
It's a
That is what it is.
just to borrow the term that left has been using, it's a radical turn of events as far as politics in Kerala is concerned. And Shivrashta, I'll give you the final word. But I think this debate needs to be taken to a logical conclusion where why a demand for a Hindu Rashtra is acceptable. Because people believe that is, the core culture or the core identity of Hindustan, as Charu Pragya said. But demands of Islamic Republic are somehow too problematic. Why? Somebody has to outline that. And political parties should take the lead in that.
Hypocrisy. Absolute
Shivrashta, please only.
You know what?
Hindu Rashtra, ठीक है, Muslim Rashtra.
What Charu has actually underscored is an ideological issue which I don't want to take up here because this is precisely what the left and the Congress ecosystem want us to do right now. It is not an ideological question. It is a pretty constitutional question. A political party comes out in the open and says we demand an Islamic Republic or whatever to that effect. And people are not able to denounce it in the strongest terms possible. They're not able to say that we completely distance ourselves and we will not go ahead and do a political alliance with them because, ideologically we disagree. The problem is precisely that. Now, Shivani, to the question of Hindu Rashtra and Islamic Republic, let me be very unequivocal about this. In India, if you look at the Indian nation state, this is the natural homeland for Hindus. Calling it Hindustan doesn't necessarily mean we have shed all our secular credentials. But to call for an Islamic Republic in a state, in a condition when there are so many Islamic nations all around, is basically talking about, a grand political Islamic project, and which is why it makes it deeply uncomfortable. Also coming from the land of Kerala, where there are constituencies and districts which are absolutely polarized. We all know the kind of political violence that has gone on. I don't want to detail out here. This is all out there in the public domain.
Okay.
Also, it is intellectually lazy for the left to come out and muddle all of this conversation around specific individuals like Dhirendra Shastri. You have a Dhirendra Shastri, you also have a Zakir Naik. And so on and so forth. Not that those two can be compared. I'm just saying, and these people...
Individual examples should not, demerit a debate which is an ideological
Also
debate.
denounce vote.
I'll just end on one
Just
note.
30 seconds.
It is often talked about how India's strength is in its secularism. Something to ponder upon. Will India remain secular if it wasn't for Hindu majority in this country? Something to ponder upon. Will it lose its very core nature that we are so proud of if it was to become something else altogether? But I'll leave it at that. I do thank our guests for joining us. Moving on, after ICC refused to budge and change Bangladesh's venue to Sri Lanka for the upcoming Men's T20 World Cup in India, BCB has now officially announced that they will not participate in the tournament. The decision was announced after a meeting by the BCB this afternoon, where they announced that their government is not allowing them to travel to India.